This pattern of psychological resistance is well expressed in the billionaire paradox, which is the fact that of 6,000 or more billionaires in the world, only 0.01% of their net worth is allocated to this topic. So only about 1 in 200 billionaires actually has put anything into longevity and aging, which is contrary to a popular conception that billionaires want to live indefinitely, pour vast amounts of money. Absolutely not true. Actually, this is just sensationalism. Billionaires are just like everybody else with a few twists. They have these zany objections. They're waiting for a good plan. So in other words, they'd rather die than try to do something to develop a good plan or hire somebody for $1 million to come up with a good plan. They believe in an afterlife. So that's a common reason. They don't need to think about living longer because, hey, the problem is solved, right? Even though, aging still happens and that's a lot of suffering. They don't like thinking about nasty things. I mean, what's the point of being rich if you have to think about nasty things? They may be shielded by minders. So sometimes what happens is an ultra high net worth person reaches out to somebody they consider an expert or are connected to an expert in longevity. And then that person has their own agenda and they basically funnel any interest into that agenda, which ends up being really quite limited. Or there are different minders who just prevent access to the ultra high net worth individual in the first place. And by the way, if you're a billionaire who's 70 or 80 years old, that might make sense for you, right? Because the timelines may not work out. And that's a rational assessment. Many are afraid of what people may think, so bad PR, or have these confabulations about bad global outcomes, which is kind of absurd. It's like, what will we do when there are 30 billion people on Earth, where the reality is, of course, we have a shrinking population. And the irony is that even the billionaires who do acknowledge that this is a problem and do put in some money into it, like Peter Thiel, acknowledge that they should do much more about it. In fact, Peter Thiel said in an interview for The Atlantic in November 23, quote, "I should be investing way more money into this stuff. I should be spending way more time on this." And yet, for some reason, he and others simply can't bring themselves to.